Gunners Ross podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. That is our sponsor, and we have our own promo code. It is TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase. Go use that code right now.
Welcome to Gunners R Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
Woo! Well,
it's been a week.
well.
I know we did last week the Whisper Show, I like to call it.
Oh, yeah.
But it was very late at night, and we had a very busy 7 days ahead of us, so we did it a day early. But we're at the end of those 7 days.
We're out the other end.
This is day 8.
Oh.
And I'm extremely fatigued.
As the Beatles would say, 8 days a week.
That is what they say, isn't it? No, I feel very fatigued.
Yeah.
A lot has happened in the football world.
Yep.
A lot has happened in our personal world. You need to listen to the Peppercorn Boys on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube. Because I'm sure we'll go a bit more, not in depth, but I mean, kind of tell that story a lot more. But I mean, we were at Cardiff in Utility Arena in Cardiff on Wednesday. We're back to work Thursday, Friday. You go to Wembley Saturday. You perform technically at Wembley Sunday with Mercedes Monet all in. Then Monday, travel home, which is about 5.5 hours. And then yesterday we went to a family bereavement, a funeral, and that was a 14-hour round trip. And then we got in, went straight to sleep, and I woke up 20 minutes ago.
Yep, and now we're here.
And here we are.
But in amongst all of that, our feet did touch the hallowed floors of the home of English football.
We did. We were in the locker room.
We were.
We got changed in the England locker room. So that was pretty cool. And there was an Alf Ramsey statue.
There was,
in the tunnel. We got to sit by where the managers sit.
Yes.
We did all that kind of stuff. And to remind us that we're back, someone just said, Champions League, you'll never sing that. So,
Champions League, you'll never sing.
Well, Villa tried to tell us that this weekend.
They did.
By literally putting a Champions League trophy in the tunnel. And that didn't work out great for them.
Absolute shade. Backfired.
Absolute shade.
Shame on you.
Yeah, Villa, you tried something there, John McGinn.
Fair, though. I understand.
Yeah, Chelsea. They're a Chelsea fan. I'm aware. Only Chelsea sing that.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of you can and we can't.
But we did watch that game in a bar in what is technically North London, I would say.
Is it?
It's somewhat north.
It was outside Wembley. We watched the Arsenal game. But
yeah.
It was a good game. We'll get into that because today we will be doing the usual kind of stuff. So first half of the show, we'll be breaking down kind of what was. Mm-hmm. And I'll include the Arsenal Villa game.
Yep.
The Moreno signing. The Smith Rowe leaving. Any kind of transfer news. But there's also some weird stuff happened. So Chelsea scored 6.
Yes.
Man United lost, which I did predict last week, and I got that right.
Yep.
But it was a lot. It didn't come exactly how I thought it was going to happen. Liverpool look kind of like Arsenal, just kind of dead eye going forward. City kind of pumped Ipswich. So there's some interesting things. So we'll kind of cover football.
Yeah.
With a hint of Arsenal in the first half. The second half, we'll get into prediction leagues. And I can tell you how Joe, myself, and Simon got on last week. And then we'll predict this week's fixtures.
Heck yeah.
But that is all there is. I think this week I got a feeling I'm so out of the loop. Tomorrow is the Champions League draw.
Yes.
And it's automated now. It's not human.
Oh.
Because of the new format.
Yeah.
So this time last year, I think I did do a live, my first ever live.
You did.
Watching the Champions League draw. So I might try and do something similar this year. If it's tomorrow. If it's Friday, then I've got no chance because I'm not around.
No, I think I watched your live last year from work.
Yeah, I think there was always a Thursday. Anyone in the chat? Because obviously we were on Gunners R Us pod on TikTok, 10 a.m. GMT every single week. And again, last week we did not hit it. 3 weeks ago we didn't hit it because we were going to the Emirates and they wouldn't allow us to live in the car.
Yeah.
And then last week we were also in a car but going to Cardiff Utility Arena for AEW Dynamite. So we couldn't do either. And we've won a lot of suits this week.
We have.
Cars
and suits.
Cars and suits. So the live hasn't been as on point as I always say, which is 10 a.m. every single week GMT on a Wednesday. But here we are. and we try unless something massive happens and it stops us,
Yeah.
or TikTok stop us. In the TikTok already, we've had Nketiah's gone from Clements. Yes, John McGinn hate that bloke from Clements also.
So does Ben White.
Yeah, and then Sean Deitch 10. What's your opinion on the Carabao Cup round 2? I'll say this: bet responsibly. I finally won a bet last
You did
night.
very
I
well,
got
and that was while we were on the move.
a 5-way accumulator. Plus a Fulham win with some free bets or something, I don't know, and I'm up to £23. So that set me up nicely for this weekend because we've got nothing going on this weekend.
Yep.
So we can actually watch some football, put a couple £1 betters on, a couple accumulators, a little ACCA freeze
Yeah.
on Sky Bet.
Stop, drop, and breathe.
And just breathe for a minute before something else probably pops up. We get a lot of Spurs fans coming in here,
We do.
which is interesting. Hey, more the merrier. We're not anti you. Well, we are. We're all anti each other, aren't we? Really, but we're not. It's too toxic. You just enjoy football. United are winning. United winning. They bought Agate, so this is an interesting thing. So we do a little bit of transfer news to kick off the show then, because MUFC Azair. I can't see from here because there's a ring light around the phone.
Thank you, MUFC, as 786 for the segue.
There you go. Joe can see it. I can't. My eyes are staring at a ring light, so I can hardly see the phone.
Blinding lights.
But Ugarte
Yeah.
for PSG, that will definitely sort out a little bit of Man United's problems.
Oh,
in
yeah.
midfield.
Oh, yeah.
They've moved on McTominay, which, by the way, I was never not a fan of McTominay. I just don't think he fits Man United.
Yeah.
Because for a guy who comes off the bench and scores that much and does score and travels into the box, he almost reminds me of Aaron Ramsey. He's not as fancy, slick, or as good as Aaron Ramsey, but he has that ability to know where to be and get important goals.
He reminds me of the old school United. I know he probably isn't quite the level of like a Paul Scholes or maybe a Nicky Butt, I don't know. But he's cut from the same cloth as that old school 90s to 2000s Man United team. So I think that's why a lot of Man United fans were quite excited about the prospect of him. But I think in the modern football, I don't think he's quite at that level that they need.
Well, I think almost we talk about it with managers, don't we, where you get too far beyond the point.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, with Emery, he was a good coach for Arsenal. He did well. He had 24 games unbeaten in the season. We missed out on Champions League, and I think that then losing the Europa Cup final as badly as he did in Baku.
Yeah.
I think there was no matter what he did, he had gone past the point of no return.
Yeah.
And I think certain people do that. And again, he's still a great coach.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the right fit at Arsenal at that point. As you can see with Villa, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
McTominay is exactly that. I think he was good, but he was not what they needed.
No.
And enough time passed and enough bad stuff happened as far as United's style of play that he almost became a scapegoat.
Yeah.
If you remember, Fred was also a scapegoat.
Yeah.
McFred. Maguire is a scapegoat. And again, maybe the players aren't exactly right, but there's also players like Anthony
Yep.
who are definitely not good enough.
No.
But for whatever reason, someone like McTominay, academy boy, scored a lot of winners, allowed them to even make it back to Europe.
Yeah.
He was almost a scapegoat, but I kind of see it was too far gone for United fans. So he needed a move. He'll do great in Napoli.
Yeah.
Under Conte. I'm happy with that. I think as far as United will go, it's a win-win because McTominay's going to get a team that are going to love him.
Yep.
Like, look at Conor Gallagher at Atletico.
Yeah.
Do you see the unveiling of him?
Oh, yeah.
They love him. So McTominay's going to get everything he deserves at Napoli. Man United needed to move on from him and have a player like Agate.
Yeah, I think we've experienced this with Arsenal. We had a lot of years where we got very attached to some of our players to the detriment of our team. And we didn't want them to move on because we wanted them there. We wanted them to play for us, be happy there. But it just doesn't fit anymore. For example, everything that's happening with Smith Rowe and hopefully what happens with Eddie. And now we can kind of appreciate that they've moved on. And we're kind of excited for them. We hope they move on and do achieve some stuff because they do deserve it. But it just doesn't fit what we're doing. The same thing for McTominay at Man United.
Yeah, I think Eddie's a really good kind of comparison because I think all Arsenal fans would agree Eddie's good.
Yeah.
We just have been needing a proper forward for so long that we kind of... And people will be like, well, Eddie could be that, you know that. And it's like, no, he's too far gone with that. We need someone who looks different. Like, just someone who just isn't him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you keep seeing him come off the bench and kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And
he does score, and he scores hat-tricks, and he scores winners. He scored a winner against Man United last year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago. And you just go... But it has to be someone else. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You need that clean slate sometimes. But he's definitely good enough. He'll go away and he'll be amazing.
Yes.
McTominay's that exact thing. Man United fans they know he's good. They like him. He's an academy kid, but we have to go somewhere else because it's not going to work. Whereas like Smith Rowe, I think none of us wanted to see go and we knew he was good.
Yeah.
Whereas I think McTominay maybe he's underappreciated, like Eddie is at Arsenal.
If you love someone, you got to let him go.
You do. But as far as Man United, they have brought in Ogate. They've got, obviously, they brought in like De Ligt, Xerxes. There were some others probably. Off the top of my head, can't think of any for whatever reason. Yoro.
He'll be like a new signing.
I think they're making good signings, but there's a danger one coming up for Man United fans. I think Ineos, is it? Goldbridge is kind of the... I don't want to say he's a spokesperson for Man United fans because it's like saying AFC TV is the spokespeople for Arsenal.
You don't want them to necessarily represent you, but
they're absolutely not.
They're very vocal.
But I think AFC TV are toxic. I think Mark Gilbridge is funny. So
Yes.
I don't know if that's because I'm not a Man United fan, but I feel like he makes sense most of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He just gets a little wound up, carried away.
Yeah, he's funny. That guy's funny. But he's been very happy with kind of how they've done business. And they've waited, they've paid less money, they've done certain things. And I kind of agree. And I also think they've spent a lot of money on, people that aren't necessarily ready.
Yeah.
For example, Yoro was big money, but I mean, he's 18.
Yeah.
Saliba went out on loan for 3 years. I think that's kind of normal. Again, you do have these generational talents. He could be a generational talent. He doesn't look good. But then, same with Xerxes. I think Xerxes is actually very good.
Yeah.
But Højlund, I feel like, an experienced forward would have made more sense. But either way, they feel quite happy with it.
Yeah.
But something that is happening at the minute is potential Sancho-Sterling swap.
Yes.
With Chelsea, which is... Chelsea fans do not want Sancho.
No.
Man United fans do not want Sterling.
Well, that's fun.
And I'll just say, with Sterling, he would have then played for Man City, Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea. And
It's only us left.
yeah. But I don't know.
Maybe we'll finally get him when he turns 30.
I'm trying
I swear he's still in his 20s.
Ahmad and Garnacho, Rashford, Xerxes, Højlund, Anthony. They've got pretty much 2 in every position. I don't know if you need to add another one, but I know Sancho is the other one. It's like us with Nelson. But Sancho's a very good player. Again, too far gone maybe with the manager.
Yeah.
He won't allow it. He doesn't like him, which is the manager's choice. Obviously, he can do what he wants with that kind of thing. But you start to think, I don't think getting Sterling over Sancho is necessarily a massive improvement. I think Sterling's a very underrated player. He's only 29. You do actually think of him as 34th or whatever.
I know.
But I think that might completely undo a lot of the good work that Ineos have done because I think United fans will see that as a stupid signing. Because I really thought Arsenal were going to try and nick him. Because there's talk that it's like a loan with a free at the end of it or something, but they're going to cover the wages.
Ooh.
Something like that's appeared yesterday that I was like, at that point, I will have him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because, I mean, that's a free player.
Andy.
And he's, if you offload Nelson and we can't bring in a winger, let's say.
Yeah.
I mean, you're improving from Nelson.
100%.
I love Nelson, but again, Sterling has been there, done it, won the league, done everything.
Yeah, and I'm sure Arteta's worked with Sterling quite a lot as well, so he knows him well.
Those two are very, very close. But I don't think we are. I think Man United and Chelsea thing might actually happen.
Yeah.
But massive news last night was circulating that, and someone in the chat just said it, I apologise. And it kind of goes along with Turbo Mind, is it? Saying Havertz is a mastermind.
Yeah.
Which I agree. Arsenal got heavily linked with Darwin Nunez last night.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reports coming out of South America that basically he said, I want to move to London and I want to work under Arteta.
Wow.
Again, these are all reports in football.
There's no smoke without fire.
There is no smoke without fire. And he does seem like an Arteta player.
Yeah.
The type of person he is, the type of player he is. The fact he's a little bit of a broken toy, but you can see the quality is massive.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we talk about Sesko, we talk about Gyökeres. This guy was those 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When Liverpool bought him, we all went, oh, wow, this is going to be nightmare for the league. And if you watch him, he's so powerful, so strong. He hits the ball so hard.
Goal poacher as well.
But he just doesn't seem to hit the target often. And again, but he's the opposite of Havertz.
Yeah.
Havertz is grace, elegance, and just kind of nuance.
Yeah.
This guy is the opposite of all of that.
Yeah.
He is just power, drive, manic.
A little bit of organised chaos.
Yeah, and I think bringing someone like him in would really change the team because we've talked about it a while. If we're not bringing in a winger, you need to bring in a centre forward.
Yeah.
Because then Jesus can play across the wide play and just stop Jesus playing as a 9.
Yeah.
Or Trossard plays as a 9 as well. And there's things like that. Moreno's allowing basically Havertz to not have to do the 8 rolling anymore. Yep. And Havertz is a pure forward now.
Perfect.
So that's solved one thing. But the new one is, I was kind of set on Jesus, Havertz and Trossard at a push being our forwards for the year. But we are madly on the left, Trossard and Martinelli. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I think we could bring in a winger from either side because I really think they're trying to try Martinelli. I think there's more left-sided wingers, basically.
There is, yeah.
So I think they're trying to move Martinelli as the backup to Saka, as opposed to him and Saka being the guarantees.
Yeah.
Trossard being the left-sided winger. But if they could bring in someone, like in a perfect world, Nico Williams. Nico Williams is the main forward with Saka, and in the middle you have Havertz. But if Trossard is the backup to Nico Williams, Martinelli is the backup to Saka, then the backup to Havertz would be Jesus.
Yeah.
But what I think he wants is someone like a Sesko or a Darwin or someone like that. So
someone big and powerful, can win headers, goal poacher.
Yeah, basically by this time next year, at the end of the transfer window next season, I think he would like the front 6 to be Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, someone, Havertz, someone.
Yeah.
It's whether we could pick up one of those 2 mystery players, because I think next year we'll probably get some profit out of the likes of Jesus.
Yep.
Maybe Partey if they can sort his deal out that they don't sell him this year and they sell him next year.
Yeah. Maybe a Zinchenko.
Yeah.
Because I think we've got a few players in that role now.
Yeah, and there could be a bigger sign. There could be a bigger sell as well. Like, you look at Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
Yesterday there was reports that Kivior was interested by Palace. He's been talked about Bologna and a few others. But Arsenal said Kivior is not for sale.
Okay.
Which has made us go, okay, so Saliba, Gabriel, you got White and Timber on one side, you got Calafiori and Zinchenko on the other side, and then there's Kivior.
Yep.
But there's also Tomiyasu.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, there is actually 8 defenders for 8 positions, and
they can all kind of play
pretty much any of the combinations. There is 4 you can put out.
Yeah.
Which I think is what he wants, and I think he's wanting to start playing Kivior as a left centre back.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised in the Carabao Cup we don't see a centre back pairing of Zinchenko and Zinchenko as Kivior and Timber.
Yep.
With maybe a Ben White on the right and a Zinchenko on the left or a Calafiori on the left.
Yeah.
So I think he's basically gone. I know we should sell one. By the way, there's another one. There's Tierney. So as far as left backs, we have about 4 at the club at the minute.
Yeah.
So Tierney needs to get a loan deal, 100%. That's one that has to go. There was talk of Tierney, because obviously in a perfect world, we see the people that aren't going to play and be like, oh, just get $1 million for them, $1 million for them, $1 million for them. It's not actually that possible to do some of these things.
Yeah.
But you don't want to start a season with 9 defenders.
No.
Because 3 or 4 of them are going to know they're not going to play much.
Yeah.
And that's going to be unhappy camp. And same with Ramsdale. There's talk of Wolves. They got priced out. Saints are now in for him.
Yeah.
I think Saints is a great fit. Arsenal don't want to necessarily do a permanent deal yet because I don't think... Basically, I think at this point, we're not going to sell anyone. We're going to... After Eddie, I think we're going to loan a lot.
Yeah.
But hopefully with obligations to buy. So if Ramsdale went to Saints, but it was like obligation to buy for 25 million, but they take half his wages, that would be good for Arsenal. But we're looking at Garcia from Spain to replace him.
Yeah.
So again... Selling Ramsdale just means you have to buy another player.
Yeah.
And we've already bought 4 or 5 keepers this summer. So it's been an odd one. Like, as far as the first team goes, we've offloaded over 10 players.
Yeah.
And we've brought in Calafiori, Tommy Setford, who's a third choice keeper, Moreno. So as far as last year, we said we weren't big enough a squad, quality enough a squad. We didn't trust enough players because later on in games when we went, bring Vieira on then. He clearly didn't trust him. Yeah. Hence why Vieira is now at Porto on loan. And I think that I don't think they've given up on Vieira either. That's a full year loan back to Porto with no obligation to buy, anything.
So it's just
I think it is go get minutes and remind us how good you are.
Yeah.
Because he was good. Like when we bought him, you thought, oh, that could be the next Bruno Fernandes type player.
Yeah.
Or Bernardo Silva or someone. He needs to go prove it, and if he goes there and it's average, we can then go, all right, we need to move him on, and we need to know the price isn't what we hoped it was. But so you like this summer essentially, so far as the forwards of the front 3 from last year, we've now lost Nketiah.
Yep.
Gained no one. Mm-hmm. From the midfield core 3, we've lost El Nani, and we've lost Smith Rowe.
Yep.
And we've lost Vieira.
Yeah.
We've gained Moreno. And again, Moreno is more of a starter than all of them.
Yeah.
So instead, at the 6 now, we have Jorginho, Rice, or Partey. At left 8, we have Moreno or Rice or Havertz.
Yeah.
And on the right, by the way, where Odegaard is, it's Odegaard or Ethan Nwaneri.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
That's what I mean. So
numbers, we've dropped some numbers there and only gained a couple.
yeah, and the big issue last year was we had a squad of 19, I'd say, that we were like, okay, that's 19. He trusted 15 of them.
Yeah.
The year before, he trusted 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
He trusted 15. This year, we were like, by the end of summer, we need to be, he trusts 19.
Yeah.
That's what Man City do. They trust 19 and they rotate 19. I think we're back down to like 13, 14 he trusts. Maybe more because of the defenders. But I think, if anything, we've reduced ourselves. The quality is better.
Yeah.
If you imagine like sediment, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's dropping.
Yeah, he's filtering down the coffee. It's
Yeah.
pure. It's getting more pure.
Yeah.
But it's less of it.
Less numbers.
And he needs to add pure numbers.
Do you reckon he's got anything lined up, though, this week? We've only got, what?
2 more days.
2.5 days.
So it's all of today, all of Thursday, all of Friday to get paperwork done.
Yeah.
There could be something brewing. This Darwin one seems to be taking over. But I don't know. But like I said earlier, I really do think... by the way, Nunez plays left wing as well as centre forward.
Handy.
So when you were talking about what we were talking
Yeah.
about, it's Trossard and... For this year, let's say, Trossard or Nunez on the left.
Yeah.
Saka or Martinelli on the right.
Yep.
Or Havertz and Jesus in the middle.
Yeah.
But that really is Havertz, Jesus, or Darwin, or Trossard. So there's 4 options at centre forward.
Yeah.
The left side is Martinelli, Trossard, or Nunez.
Yep.
The right side is Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, or Nelson, if you keep Nelson.
Yep.
So there is options when you look at it like that.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it for weeks, where if we get a winger, we won't get a centre forward. If we get a centre forward, we get a winger. I think maybe he's doing what he's done across all the field. With like Havertz, he's not a centre forward. He's a centre forward or a left 8.
Little hybrid.
Yeah, and I think, by the way, I think Havertz might be Odegaard's actual understudy. Because if we bring in a centre forward, he's played left 8.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could play right 8. He's got a lot of intelligence.
Yeah.
And a bit, but again, I would love to see Ethan Nwaneri play a lot of games. But I mean, if Odegaard got a 6-month injury, who's playing right? Who's playing number 10 for our
That's a
team?
lot to
Who's
take
the
on,
playmaker? Yeah. And it could be Havertz, because if you have that depth up front, maybe Trossard, Jesus deal with the number 9. But then Martinelli has to play every game at left wing, and then like if we don't bring anyone else in, this is what I'm saying. So like, I think as of right now, the worst injury we could possibly get is Odegaard, because I really think it's the most sparse cover in the whole field. And whereas like at 6, it's Partey, Jorginho, or Rice.
Yeah.
And Moreno said he can play there yesterday in his interview. And then at left 8, you have Moreno or Rice.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Arteta's been doing, though, isn't it? We're strong from the back forward, and it just kind of gets shallower as you get forward.
Yeah, it filters out as it goes forward.
There's never really been much talk of another...
Playmaker.
No.
Well, because I think we thought it was Smith Rowe or Vieira. We thought they were competing, and we said at the start of the summer, I think one of them will go.
Yeah.
We all said, I hope Smith Rowe stays and Vieira probably moves on.
Yeah.
And then Smith Rowe went, all right, he obviously trusts Vieira. Nope, doesn't trust either.
Yeah.
It turns out. And I don't think Smith Rowe was a trusting. I think it was we're not going to be able to give you enough games.
Yeah.
Whereas Vieira, I think, he just doesn't trust him.
Well,
and I've seen it. He gives the ball away a lot. He doesn't track back. He's a bit weak in
Flimsy.
duels. And I mean, considering our team is an average of 7'9" now, he's definitely... Darwin would add to that as well, which is... But I mean, we put a bid in for Sesko.
Okay, yeah.
So the type of player he really wants is a wild card centre forward. And we were linked with Gyökeres and Evan Ferguson.
Yeah.
Darwin is in that kind of weird Haaland breed of 6'3", 4, powerful wild card nutty forwards.
Like Ibrahimovic light.
Yeah, and he ended up with Havertz. And I don't think he ever intended Havertz to be his forward. He wanted to be his left 8.
Yeah.
So
the understudy to Odegaard thing, though, is a tough role to come into. Like, you're not... It's going to be hard to convince anyone of a
to join, because you know you're not getting ahead.
Odegaard's playing. Like, no
That's
matter
why I think it might be a secondary option. So, like, if Odegaard gets injured, I think Havertz plays every game at 10.
Yeah.
And he shares it with Nwaneri.
Yeah. I feel like they got a lot of trust in Nwaneri, though. I feel like he's really pulling the trigger on him.
The worst part as well is I said we got 4 left backs. We also got Lewis Skelly that wants to get in this year, and he's probably looking at it going, "Oh my god!"
Figure out a new position.
Well, he plays where Nwaneri plays.
Yeah,
but they're doing the Saka treatment to him, where they're kind of going, "You need to learn the left back role as kind of Like how that's why Saka's so well rounded
Yeah.
is he doesn't ever leave his defender high and dry.
Yeah.
He's just a very intelligent player. He knows I don't want to keep running into that box because I know it's going to put pressure back.
Yeah.
Whereas like Martinelli's never done it, so he just runs in the box, loses it, and goes, "Oh damn it!" and then sprints to try and get back, and then
Yeah.
knackers himself out and goes off for 6 minutes. Whereas Saka, like 9 times out of 10, just goes, "I'll roll it back to Ben White.
Yeah.
I'm not going in behind this time.
Yeah.
I'll wait until we got everyone structurally sound." So it does breed intelligence. I think Lewis Skelly's a really intelligent player.
Yeah.
But again, they are 17 and 18. They're not. We're not hoping that they become our main man next year. This is in 3 years' time. But what we want to see this year is play games in the Carabao.
Yeah.
Play games in the FA Cup. Play game in the Champions League. I think you're going to have to win 4 out of your 8 games in that league to guarantee a spot. If we win the first 4, let's just hope. You can start doing that because I don't think it matters the position you can. I don't know enough about it. There's a chance that one plays 8 or like the first 4 play the 4 playoff winners.
Yeah.
And then the middle. I don't know if it's. I assume it's probably like that, but I don't know if it's also just randomized once you go through.
Yeah.
So if you are like kind of like clinching it, you could be like, oh, just throw the youth out there,
Yeah.
and they could get good important games out there.
That could be handy.
But Moreno is a great signing. He played for Newcastle. He's obviously got a bit of unfinished business. He was an Arsenal. I know everyone says, oh, they're an Arsenal fan. I mean, he did like a photo shoot as a kid in 05 in Arsenal's kit. And they've redone it as, like, you know what Haaland did his introduction? He was sat in the kit and they got the same chair. They did that with Moreno. And I didn't know anything about this.
No.
But someone brought this up. It's a really good point. Is we were talking about how Tony didn't come to Arsenal. A lot of these players that Arsenal are buying at the minute are leaving through the front door.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is they're not forcing moves. They're not losing, like falling out with their team. If you remember, Timber did one where he's talking to all the youth players going, "You're next," and all that. And he goes and claps hands with all the teammates and they all wish him luck. The manager wishes him luck. If you remember, I'm trying to think. I heard something out there. That's what threw me then. I thought I can hear my dog and he's in trouble. And
What's he doing?
That's what I wanted to figure out. So Timber went through the front door.
Yeah.
Rice said goodbye to West Ham.
They're not burning bridges.
They're not burning bridges. Sociedad's one was really nice, the way in which they let him go. There's been a few that have kind of come in. Again, we've talked about Arteta. It really goes after personalities.
Yeah.
And it does feel like that. Like, he wants a certain type of person that he can control, I think is what it is. But
he likes to get a gauge of who they are as a person.
There's a lot of similarities between Moreno and Edu.
Yeah.
And I think the Moreno signing is a very, not to be harsh, but lackluster. I've talked myself into it because watching a load of like training comps and listening to Clive on Arsenal Vision. Go ahead and do that if you want to kind of learn a bit more about it.
Yeah.
But I really think having a left 8 is a true left 8 and not what Rice is.
Yeah.
Because Rice is just figuring out the left 8. He's a 6.
Yeah.
I think that opens up a lot of the way in which that left side plays because our right side is so dominant.
Yeah.
With Ben White, Saka, and Odegaard. The left is kind of left, isn't it? Like it's never cohesive. It's always changing.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to solidify that Calafiori, Moreno, and if it's Martinelli, whoever it is, they can combine. And I think Moreno really does allow it because he's closer to Xhaka than he is to Rice.
Yeah.
And Rice is closer to a box to box 6 than he is just trying to get forward and score goals.
Yeah.
So I think naturally everyone kind of sits better and it makes it a bit more cohesive because everyone's playing correct in their right position.
Well, it suddenly makes that midfield look unreal. Like if you think Rice here, Moreno here, Odegaard here, that suddenly looks pure quality.
And again, if Moreno gets tired, you could push Rice up and bring on a Jorginho or a Partey. If Moreno gets tired, you could bring Havertz back.
Yep.
And Rice stays in the 6, depending on injuries on because obviously the 2 number 6 that are backing up Rice are like half players. Like together they're one player.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of games they'll be able to play this year is not Rice. Rice will want to play 100%. Touch wood. But those 2 can play 50% of the games.
Yeah.
So his backup is 2 players, but it's really 1. Moreno's backup is also Rice.
Yeah.
And it is also someone in another position. So it is very dicey, but you can't also, like with defenders, you can have 4 really good players and then 4 backups. In the midfield, it's tough to convince high quality players you're coming in to be Odegaard's understudy. You're coming in to be Moreno's understudy. Like Moreno is someone who could be coming in to be Rice's understudy.
Yeah.
For all we know.
Yeah.
Because he's 27, 28. And he might be like, yeah, I want to. I'll earn that position. I'll push Rice back into the 6, but I know when I come in, like this weekend, Moreno's not going to play left 8.
No.
It's going to be Rice. No, it's going to be Partey. It's going to be Rice. It's going to be Odegaard. Yeah. You might see Moreno come on, and it'll probably be for Partey, and Rice drops back.
Yep.
Same as if we bought Darwin on Friday night, he's not playing Saturday morning.
No.
And Arteta is true to his players a lot of the time. Like Calafiori hasn't really played.
Yeah.
He's allowed Zinchenko to play. Then Timber.
Yeah, you want to be loyal. You don't want to upset because you are trying to build that depth. Like I think a lot of it comes from convincing these players based off of what City do, but you also need to back that up with some kind of success and potential. And I think we backed it up with the potential success that we can have, and players from the outside are looking in saying, I want to be part of that. I want to be part of the team. I want to be part of the situation. And if it means I have to rotate with someone else, then so be it. But we have earned that right now.
Yeah. The Rossi baby, 2021. Get an out-and-out striker and we're solid. Yeah, that's it. I think the fact that we've not actually been strongly linked with a winger.
Yeah.
But we put in an actual bid for Sesko.
Yeah.
Edu's been at a sporting game looking at Gyökeres. Maybe this whole time there was no interest in wingers.
Yeah.
Maybe he sees it as Jesus is a good right winger. You know, do you know what I mean? Like because I think City ended up with that with Jesus. Is they wanted him to be a centre forward.
Yeah.
They couldn't kind of trust him.
Yeah.
So they made him a winger and he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So maybe
he definitely does more with the ball at his feet than he does.
Yeah, I love watching Jesus, and he does look a bit closer to his old self. But
yeah.
Maybe this whole time I said we need a proper centre forward, and we kind of got lost in the winger thing because the Sesko thing fell through, and then we started talking about Nico Williams and all these things.
Yeah.
And again, these are massive signings. Like if you were to make a Nico Williams or an Osman, like these don't seem real as an Arsenal fan. They don't feel like things we're going to get done, and it's not because we can't. I think it's just we won't because we don't want to go get Nico Williams for. He's got a release clause of like 65 million or something. But you don't want to then go pay him 350 grand a week.
No.
And then the whole team becomes disrupted. It's one thing Arteta is not allowed is that kind of wage bill to fluctuate like that. It's kind of based on performance.
Yeah.
And they re-sign people, extend people when their performances improve.
Yeah.
It's a very structured. I don't think like Osman is the perfect example. We're not going to go pay him 400 grand.
No.
That's what someone like United would do if they really wanted to make sure they get over the line. PSG are going to do it. Because he is going to leave because Lukaku is now at Napoli. Like he is going somewhere. Chelsea's now in for Tony. I don't know why. How are Chelsea buying all these players? We've bought. I think for our first team we bought 3 players, and one of them's a third choice keeper.
Yeah,
that's our window, and we've sold around 10 players, plus released 2, plus got money for about 4 people who got sold on.
Yeah,
that's our summer.
How's the FFP working with
I don't know. I don't know. At this point, everyone's so miffed. But I do think that type of style of centre forward is what they really, truly want. And Darwin does fit it.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know how much truth there is to those Darwin ones. But it'll be interesting. These last few days, they have been talking about surprises and how they're not done and all this. So it does feel like something's going to happen. But I start to worry with the Moreno deal took a month.
Yeah.
So how long is this going to take? But, I mean, transfer talk took a lot longer, though.
Oh, it did.
So what I might do is we'll cover a lot of what we saw last week with the Prediction League.
Okay.
So we'll move into Prediction League. I don't know how long we've been going.
It's hard.
About half hour?
Yeah,
is it half past?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
So, yeah, I know we went way too long on transfers. But we're enjoying ourselves.
We are. We're having a good time.
We're enjoying ourselves. But what we're going to do is I'll tell you how the Prediction League went last week. Simon got 4 again. He got 4 both times. I got 5. I got 5 both times. And you got 6.
Ooh.
You got 4 last week, which puts you at 10.
Wow.
Me at 10. Simon at 8.
Wow.
So it started like how it did last year.
It's kind of taking the same turn that my fantasy football has taken. I had a bad week first week, and then second week, lovely.
That's what it's all about. So this week we're starting at 12:30. Arsenal are actually the 12:30 game, the Klopp game.
Beautiful.
We're at home to Brighton. Brighton have started really strongly. They've won their first 2 games, and this week that winner, João Pedro, late on against Man United.
Yeah.
I mean, that had a Man United loss written all over it. But as the game progressed, you started to think, and they had that goal disallowed where it's touched Xerxes' knee.
Yep.
You thought, do you know what, Man United, I don't know how they do it. They're so jammy. Because when you watch them, you're not impressed. And then all of a sudden...
They figure it out.
They win. And you just think, what? So that's where we stand with that. Brighton, the 31-year-old manager, I mean, they look... I think on the surface, they look better than they did under De Zerbi last year. De Zerbi's first year was unreal.
Yeah.
But they look good. A lot of people I've heard saying when you watch them like deeply up close, Arsenal should really beat them.
Yeah.
Because there's some underlying, not metrics, but kind of the eye test that is a bit, they're very open.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit scatty in attack. And Arsenal are the opposite of all of that. Like, we're just like bloody, we've turned German. Like, it's so economical. This is an interesting matchup. I think on paper you look at it and go, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
There could be some underlying things, but I think there's some underlying things going with Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
That we gave away a couple chances against Villa this week. I think the Watkins chance was a bad miss from Watkins, but it was a clear foul.
Yeah.
Not saying that wouldn't have been given.
Yeah.
It was going to be given, and I don't think VAR would have overturned it because that ref was determined that that wasn't a foul. But I mean, if you're holding off a guy and he's got his arms around you and then he falls over, like, and just pulls you back with it. I get what the ref's trying to say. He's like, you've got to be stronger than that. It's like, but he's just pulling him to the ground.
Well, it almost caused a goal.
It's on the edge of the box.
Pretty
so
crucial.
it would have led to an instant goal.
Yeah.
And it should have. So that one I'm not as worried about because I think the ref was just... And again, you should worry, but I think 9 times out of 10 the ref just gives a foul there because it's a foul.
Yeah.
But there was a couple in the second half. There was obviously the rare chance. It comes from a deflection, so it's a... Realistically, the chance is not a high XG chance. It's just a deflected shot that hits the bar.
Yeah.
Because Raya really goes for it, because he thinks it's going in, he's away from the goal, so it's an open goal.
Yeah.
But the save is unreal.
Yeah.
Like that Raya save, I mean, that's 2 weeks running now. Against Wolves, remember the header?
Yeah.
The glancing header?
Yeah.
Was one of the best saves I've ever seen. And then this one topped it. And again, I feel bad because everyone's saying that Watkins should have just drilled it in the corner or whatever. I think if you watch the stills, when he's jumping with his head...
Yeah.
As he takes off, Raya is in a small ball by the left post.
So he assumes he's...
He's like, I just need to make contact here. It's a goal. It's only until he opens his eyes after he headers it that Raya's like in the air.
Yeah.
And you must have been thinking, like, I think it's just good goalkeeping because these keepers, they callous their bodies in training. I mean, training sessions for them are horrific.
Yeah.
Because they're just hitting the ground. It's like wrestling training. They're just trying to make sure their bodies can take the wear and tear.
Get down, get up.
Yeah, and hitting the ground and callousing those bones just to make sure they're not in pain and stuff. And that was exactly, if you go to an Arsenal game or any football game, you'll see the goalies doing those drills.
Yeah.
They dive really low, then they got to get up and get across and high.
Yeah.
And he did it, and it's an unbelievable save. But there was a couple crosses and corners where like Onana was completely free.
Yeah.
There was another one where I think it was Onana again. It was a right in-swinging cross, and it went over our defenders, and he was just completely alone back post, and he tried to knock it back across goal. It nearly actually went in.
Yeah.
But you just look at it, and I was like, that is not something we've become used to seeing often.
Like, what are we missing there? Like, what's happened?
Well, the perfect example is I laughed at Man United's goal, to João Pedro, a late goal, because it was 95 minutes.
Oh.
And there was like 3 Brighton players at the back post, no Man United players. They're all at the front, like De Ligt had completely committed. And I laughed at that. But then I watched the Villa game, and we did the exact same.
Yeah.
And I thought, we expect that from Man United at this point in their process. But at Arsenal, I don't know. And I thought, if they do that again against Tottenham, do you know what Son does? He scores that.
Yeah.
Do you know what Haaland does? He scores that.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I know you play different against different teams, but I mean, that was, 70 minutes?
Yeah.
Against a team that beat us twice last year to cost us the league.
A definite threat to us, yeah.
And we allowed men just to be completely free. I do think a couple of things in that game did change it. Duran coming on, I think Villa played basically the Porto game plan. We watched this, like we said earlier, in a pub with 4 or 5 Arsenal fans and 1 Villa fan.
Yeah.
And we all said it. The guy we were sat next to, we were kind of like, this is the Porto game.
Yeah.
And we were like, like what Villa did basically was have the ball. Because I think I heard on Arscast, they were saying it's almost eerie how much they allowed us to have the ball.
Yeah.
There was about a 10-minute spell to start the second half where Arsenal had the ball at the back 4.
Yeah.
They went back and forth. They never once went forward. And Villa never once tried to get the ball.
It was a weird phase of play.
Yeah, and the game was like that. I think what Villa did was, if you nullify them, they don't know what to do. And it's true, like mid-block.
Yeah.
How many times have we said the word mid-block last year? And low block. And they didn't even try. And if you remember, it was kind of what we did against Man City last year, which was when they had the ball, we didn't press them. And they went, no, that's not fair. Because the year before, if you remember, we pressed and they just did one long ball, one header, and Haaland scored.
Yeah.
So we learned our lesson and went, well, if we don't move, you have to then create something. And then when they did try to create something, we tried to make tackles in the middle and then counter. I think Villa were doing that to us, and it was stifling us. It wasn't until Duran came on that the game became like a basketball game.
Yeah.
And they nearly scored, and then we scored. And the goal was Trossard.
Yep.
Came off the bench. We were screaming for him for a while because it wasn't a good day for Martinelli.
No, you could see the game needed that little wild card element of Trossard to come on and disrupt slightly, bit more direct.
That finish was just
Wild.
first touch.
Wild.
And he had a very angry celebration.
Yeah.
He's trying to make a point. Because I think after preseason, we all kind of agreed like Trossard has to start the season. And I think what Arteta's done is actually very beneficial to Martinelli. Is he gave him trust and went, go be the winger we know you are.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to give him these 3 games before the international break. And I think it's backfired a little bit. I think he was wasteful in the Wolves game, but he created a lot.
Yeah.
This one, he had a lot of opportunity, but never really did anything with it. And you start to think, and then Trossard comes on and changes the game.
Yeah.
You now have to start Trossard against Brighton, I think. I don't think it's fair, because I think at that point, Trossard looks at it and goes, oh, it doesn't matter what I do, I can't start now.
Yeah.
And you lose the locker room, whereas I think Martinelli would understand being dropped for the next game, because he'd be like, well, I created nothing in the end.
Well, I think that's the right way around to do it, because like I think you said the other day, if you drop Martinelli for Trossard now, Martinelli's confidence and head goes down.
Yeah, before the season goes.
You lose a player, basically, because of that. What you get when you do it this way round is you get a fired up Trossard that wants to come on and prove a point.
Yeah.
And also you're not upsetting the Martinelli situation, so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, because Martinelli must probably see now that Trossard is adding a little bit more than he can at this point.
And Bernie says Trossard has to start. I think he really does, because you play well, you should be rewarded. That should be the kind of style in which football is kind of played at. But the game in general, then late on, I think Partey gets a goal, which is even sweeter because Martinez touched it. Then Odegaard misses a sitter in that position he loves. And if you remember, at Villa Park last year, he missed about 3 of them. That was apparently his 5th, like over 1 XG point at Villa Park at that end.
Wow.
Since he's joined the club, he's never scored. But he's basically should have scored 5.
Yeah.
And he's missed all of them. And if you remember, like he is so clinical from that position.
Yeah.
No matter how you bobble it to him, he'll drill it into that far corner.
Almost identical to Trossard from the other side.
Yeah.
First time hit in.
He loves it. But against Villa, he's just cursed. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But the game I thought was really, you don't want to see poor. I think tactically they were just nullifying each other.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a fun watch.
It was a weird watch.
And then it just burst into life that last 20 and it became a very standard 2-0 win for Arsenal. But I think overall we didn't deserve the win. I think Villa did. But, I mean, teams have got to do this. I mean, I think a City last year in a run against Forest gave up 15 chances.
Yeah.
Forest never scored. Wood didn't score. And then all of a sudden they score 2 at the end and you go, oh, it's just standard 2-0 win. But the game wasn't that. And I think this is that perfect example.
I think sometimes that's just the way it goes. Like, if you're progressing as a team that can potentially win the league, I think these are the games, eye test wise, doesn't necessarily look great.
Yeah.
But you do get away with a win. You do get lucky with some of the chances that they should have scored. I think that happens to everyone that does go on to win the league. If you look back on any season where Man City, Man United, Chelsea, anyone's won the league, they have these games. Usually, though, in past seasons, we've lost these games.
Yeah.
Is this the changing of the tide?
Yeah. Well, I also thought back to last year at home to Villa. We had 1,000 chances and they won that 2-0.
Yeah.
At Villa Park, we had that controversial decision at the end. We didn't deserve to win it, but we deserved to draw.
Yeah.
And it didn't go our way. And then this year, it's the opposite way. So I think it all evens itself out to an extent. And I think we really needed that because of how horrible the fixtures are.
Yeah.
If we could beat Brighton before the international break and get 9 points from 9,
that's wild.
I'm already ahead of where I thought we'd be at this point. And knowing that we've got 2 away games straight after the international break at Spurs and at City,
yeah,
it's we need to pick up points because if you had lost that and then drawn to Brighton and you had 4 points instead of 9, and then you have those 2 games, they become must-win.
Yeah.
And it's so early for must-win games.
Yeah.
Whereas you can go to Tottenham and win and then draw to City, and I mean, you'd be on 13 points out of 15, first 5, and we have the worst start of any team, maybe other than Ipswich. I'd be very happy with that.
Oh yeah, chuffed.
I'll be really happy. But the game is Arsenal v Brighton. I think Brighton do look good.
Yeah.
It's really hard to judge. It's so early. Teams are starting to kind of find their rhythm. Some teams do burst out of the kind of
The blocks.
yeah.
I think for me, I think this is in past seasons. Arsenal Brighton has always been kind of a bogey game for us, and I think judging by the way they've started, my head is telling me this is going to be a draw, but I refuse to not put anything other than Arsenal winning.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to go Arsenal win. I think maybe 2-1. I think it may be a draw
Okay.
for a period of the game. We'll get the winner.
Yeah, I feel like I'm actually going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I'm being very optimistic.
If we keep getting 2-0 wins, there's something happening.
I think they're really intent on getting clean sheets a lot.
Yeah.
I think Arteta's gave them the goal of conceding less goals than we play games. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you remember, was it Chelsea conceded like 14 goals in a year? Or
Yeah.
I think he wants that.
Yeah.
I think I saw a 2-1 in the chat.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the chat? Let us know what you think the scores are. I'm going to go with the 2-0 Arsenal win over Brighton. Again, I would. I don't know. I hope. I really think we need this win because I think the next two games after that could get dicey.
Yeah.
Dylan 3-0, Clements 3-0.
3-0, love it.
We don't concede.
Yeah, we've got a lot of 3-0s. That seems to be the general consensus.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'll be very happy with it. And then we get to the 3 o'clock. There's a decent amount today. There is Brentford versus Saints.
Woo.
Saints yet to have a win,
Yep.
I believe. And Brentford, I think they won one, lost one.
Yeah.
They had a close fought game with Palace. And then they lost 2-0 to Liverpool. I haven't seen much of that game at all.
Yeah.
But just looking on the surface, Arsenal and Liverpool really are kind of assassins.
Yeah.
They've started very dead eyes, kind of no emotion.
No, just
Just
solidly getting it done.
2 clean sheets, 4 goals. Move on.
They seem like the two teams.
Yeah, we got Clements 1-1 with Brentford and Saints.
They seem like the two teams that could potentially knock off the freaky thing that City do, if they can.
It's the only ones, I think. We got Rossi says 3-1.
Yeah.
I think Brentford, I really like them at home. I really think Mbuemo and Wissa have a hell of a partnership. I would have to agree. I'm going to go probably a 2-1 Brentford, but I'm going to go with the Brentford win.
Yeah,
I've not been overly impressed with Saints.
No, I don't hold out much hope for Saints, really. Brentford, I know we've said this before, Brentford not quite the team that they used to be.
Yeah.
But I think Brentford will be too strong for Saints here.
Okay.
And I'm going to say 3-0.
Ooh.
I'm going to go 3-0.
And we got Kai in the chat on Gunners Rust podcast on TikTok. Hey guys, it's been a while.
Hello.
Hope you're well. Good to see you. Everton at home to Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth bought Evan Nilsson, which I think is a great signing.
Yeah.
They got rid of Solanke. Bournemouth last year, if you remember, were really the first 5 games. Everyone had them definitely going down.
Yeah.
Then somewhere in the middle, Solanke got really good and like hot,
Yeah.
and we kind of assumed Bournemouth were going to beat most teams.
Yeah.
And they ended up kind of just being in that middle of the table, and you just thought, okay, fair enough, they're good. Then they kind of dropped off a bit towards the end. I don't really understand what Bournemouth are.
No.
I don't really have much of an opinion. I don't know what I'm getting when I see them.
Yeah.
Everton are very similar. Clement says 0-0, but it's not good.
It's not looking
They
good.
luckily got a win in the Carabao Cup last night. Maybe got a little bit of chemistry going,
Yeah.
but
For a team that finished so strong last season, they have done the opposite with the start of this season.
I can't imagine Everton losing all their 3 games before the international break, so I'm going to go draw.
I think a draw is a safe bet. But do you know what? I'm going to back Everton.
Okay.
I think they're going to turn it around and figure it out. And I think this is the game to do it.
Cool. Next one, we've got Ipswich at home to Fulham. This is a good game.
Yeah.
I think Fulham have looked good. I think they deserved probably a draw against United. They won this week. Smith Rowe and Iwobi Hale end on the score sheet. I think that's going to be a common thread this season.
Yeah.
Ipswich, I really like to look at them against Liverpool.
Yeah.
They just tired.
Yeah.
And in the City game, Sammy Smodics gets them 1 up. They awoke the beast.
Yeah.
Everyone triple captained Haaland.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit out of control. They going to City and going 1 up and then losing 4-1.
Yeah.
I don't think that's any. I think Liverpool or Arsenal could do the exact same.
Yeah, it's putting up a good fight.
Yeah, I think the fact they even put up a fight is good. They could have had a penalty as well.
Yeah.
At 3-1, which could have made it 3-2. Sorry, just going back, Clement, 3-1 Fulham.
Nice.
I say going back, it's this game, isn't it?
We're on it.
It's
Rossi says Fulham Smith for a winner.
Oh, it does feel... Do you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say Ipswich are going to win this.
Wow.
Because I just like them. I think at home they're going to be difficult to beat.
Yeah.
But I do think Fulham are very good.
Ipswich are very much the Luton of this season. They seem to be the underdogs that have come up and they kind of have a bit of fight in them. I don't know how long they can hold the fight up against certain teams. I don't see where a win will come for them, though. That's the only problem. Maybe against the likes of Bournemouth. But I don't think Fulham is the one. I think Fulham are too strong. There's too much. I think Ipswich, like with the City game, could get a goal. But I think this is Fulham 2-1.
Okay. The next game is Leicester versus Villa.
Okay.
Villa coming off that loss is tough for them. I thought they were mad. They were mad open against West Ham game week 1. They won it 2-1. I don't know if they necessarily deserved it, but they got it done. Against Arsenal, they should have won, and they lost. So we're not sure where we sit with Villa yet. I thought their general play was okay, but again, it's so hard to measure teams when they play Arsenal, City, or Liverpool because they're playing so different.
They didn't look like they could create too much.
The feeling I got when they played West Ham was that they felt superior to West Ham. It's the only way I could describe it. Like they couldn't lose.
Yeah.
And they found out quickly, oh God.
Yeah.
And, they were drawing, they won late. Then Souček should have scored, and it should have been, they could be on 1 point after 2.
They kind of went in with the confidence off the back of last season.
And I think they got rocked, and I think they've been double rocked now. So Leicester, I must admit, I watched them against Spurs, and I thought they were so atrocious that I was like, they've got nothing. And then all of a sudden, Vardy scored, the crowd went up, and they could have won it.
Yeah.
And then they also dropped, and Spurs could win. But Spurs are a very good team. Sorry. It's very tough. I'm trying to see what Leicester did last week. They lost to Fulham after drawing with Spurs.
Yeah.
I think at home is their chances to get the wins. I think Villa are very good is my issue. And eventually Watkins or someone's going to burst into life.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think Villa are too much for Leicester.
Okay.
I think I like Leicester as a club. I like what they do, and I like them in general. But I don't think this time round they're going to be quite strong enough for teams like Villa specifically. I mean, they're going to have to come up against like Villa's, Fulham's, even Brighton's, and I think this is a struggle now. I think it's a different league to when they were here before.
Yeah.
There's too many hard games, and I think similar to Ipswich, they're going to really... And Southampton.
You don't think a midfield of Oliver Skip and Winks is going to do anything?
No.
Okay.
I think it's too much of a struggle now across the board. They may get some wins here and there against some slightly weaker teams, like maybe all the other teams that came up with them.
Maybe.
But I think the league is way too competitive now.
It is tough. I think Spurs at home is a hard game, and then Fulham away is really hard. I don't think it's a nice start for them.
Well, even
then Villa.
Villa at home, it's even tough.
It's not the best, but I mean, the Premier League is so tough these days.
Yeah.
But when I looked at them, they did look very weak.
Yeah.
And Vardy shouldn't have been playing. It was only because of other injuries, and he hadn't had a preseason because he was injured.
Yeah.
It felt like the first night when Leno and Brentford came up and they played us and they beat us.
Yeah.
It felt like the crowd was so excited to be back in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Vardy was playing.
Neck in a Red Bull, old school, let's throw back.
And it got them a draw and they scraped by with.
Yeah.
So everything about me is kind of going... So they can't really redo that. That was their one best effort, and they got a draw.
well, HK on the chat is kind of agreeing. Lucky goal by Vardy in that game. Owen saying 3-1 Villa. Clements 92 saying 2-1 Villa.
So I'm going to go with Leicester.
Fair. I understand.
I just think
it's a competitive league we got going here. You're gonna have to make some moves, you know.
Next thing we've got Wolves. Forest versus Wolves.
Wow.
So. Sorry, I had indigestion. So week 1, I think Forest they drew with Bournemouth.
I think they've started quite
and then
well.
they won.
Yeah, they've done well
against Saints.
Yeah.
So
better than Wolves have started.
They're on 4 points. I'm not really. I must admit, after this, I'm going to watch Match of the Day. I want to catch up with last weekend's action because I feel like I haven't seen it.
Same.
Forest, I don't know. I don't know enough about them. Wolves are good. They looked really solid against Arsenal,
Yeah.
but they lost. Then they lost 6-2 at home to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And again, we've been saying on here, potential FC. Chelsea have all the players to not win the league, but be top 4.
Yeah.
They definitely have enough quality.
Yeah.
But we never know who again.
Yeah.
The thing that the manager did this week that I think is horrific, but also really smart, is he said, I don't have 43 players, I have 26.
Yeah.
I don't know about them, I don't see them, I don't want to look at them.
I think it needs that, though.
Yeah. And it's almost rude, but he's gone, but otherwise no one knows.
The club will be a mess if they don't do that.
He sat down, he's picked his 26 and said, you can get rid of all of them,
Yeah.
they're not my players.
Yeah.
And he's gone, these are my guys. That's what he needs, because he needs the squad.
Yeah.
And he's picked the likes of Nduke. Why am I saying that weird?
Nduku.
Njoku. Madueke, anyway, he played.
Oh, yeah.
He scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
And this was the night after he used his burner account, but thought he was using his burner account. Did you see this?
No.
So he put in a thing, I'm paraphrasing here. He put up a black Insta story that just had writing on it, on his Madueke.
On his main one.
On his main one, saying, this place is sugar,
Okay.
honey iced tea.
Fantastic.
There's nothing to do or something, and then tagged Wolves. Like the place.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow.
It's like a location, Wolves. And then he put out on his real one, so then he had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And he pretty much admitted he was supposed to be on his burner that like his friends have. But then he dropped a hat trick on him, and then they asked him about it after the game, and he laughed about it. So it's about as trolly as you can get, really, because he then dropped a hat trick. But they
respect it, really.
with the likes of Njoku,
Yep.
Madueke, and Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, the idea of Tony coming in, it's any other team. If we didn't know they bought 1,000 other players, you go, that's a top 4 winning team. That's a very good team. They're going to create a lot.
Yeah.
They're also going to concede a lot. The fact that Wolves scored 2.
Yeah.
That game was obviously, I need to see it. It was obviously out of control.
Wild.
It's out of control. So, but the problem is that someone in the chat just said that maybe the Wolves manager, who I've completely blanked on his name, if you want to help me with that.
Gary O'Neill.
There it is. Is it his talent wall? I don't know, but I got a feeling maybe he went in the Arsenal game, he had a plan, it didn't work, but it was close. They could have scored an early goal, would have made it nervy, they might have won it.
Yeah.
This one, I don't imagine they would have won it, but I did see the XG of the game, and it was pretty much 2-2.
Yeah.
And they lost 6-2. So maybe Chelsea were scoring world-class goals, because they do have that ability, like maybe popping in the top corner and all this kind of stuff. But maybe also he went into it going, look, we all did, went, oh, Wolves are going to win that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he went in with that mentality. The players went in that mentality and went, oh, God, they're really good.
Yeah.
Because if you watch Cole Palmer, I mean, that boy is unbelievable.
He's wild.
There's some of the stuff he does, he's just, well, he's going to drag that team up that league.
Yeah.
But as far as Forest Wolves, I actually think Wolves will win it. I really like Wolves. I think they've just been unlucky. I mean, starting with Arsenal away and Chelsea, like as a Wolves fan, you'd be looking at it going, oh, this is the first game where they truly feel like they might win.
I mean, I've gone a lot of away wins here already, and I want to go Wolves as well. I'm going to go draw.
Okay.
Just because I think Forest are better than we think they are, and Wolves are not quite where they should be yet.
Yeah.
So I think that'll cancel both teams out. I think it'll be a draw.
Well, I'm fairly sure there's only like 4 teams that have got 100% records.
Yeah.
And it's Brighton, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think everyone else has got 4 or less points.
Yeah.
I think. I could be wrong on that. So it shows you how already, like, sometimes there's like 4 teams that have 100% records after like 10.
Yeah.
Or maybe not 10, but like 6 or something.
Yeah.
It's, by the end of this weekend, one of Arsenal or Brighton won't have a 100% record because they're playing each other.
Yeah.
City are away to West Ham, which is the next game we're about to talk about.
Okay.
And Liverpool have Man United. So, I mean, there's a chance at the end of this weekend they both draw and we draw.
Yeah.
And there's no 100% teams after 3 games, which shows you how competitive it is.
Yeah.
But who knows? But the next game is West Ham City. It's the 5:30 game. I think this will be a really good team.
Yeah.
West Ham Super 11.
Yep.
Finally won this week.
Yep.
I believe. It's been. I'd say this, guys. When you're at Wembley and you're trying to remember, we're doing Mercedes Monet's entrance, and you're trying to remember what you're supposed to do and hit your points. you do struggle to keep up with football.
Oh God.
We did our best on the Saturday when we were travelling, and then we watched the Arsenal. We got there basically at 5. We went straight and watched an Arsenal game.
Yeah.
I didn't really see what happened earlier, but I was looking at it on like fantasy football and seeing all the scores, and I was like, oh wow, that's a crazy score. Then we watched the Brighton game because you had it on in the car.
Yeah.
But the Sunday was a complete wash, and I haven't fully caught up yet because I haven't really slept until last night. So today is kind of when what we should do is go up nice and early, watch Match of the Day, and then done this.
We're technically catching up on air, and I quite like it.
But I also did set an alarm for 7:30 this morning, and I turned it off and woke up at 9:30. And we were supposed to be live at 10 a.m. GMT.
Woo!
Every week, TikTok, Wednesday. I don't know what page I'm on now. What was I talking about? West Ham Super 11. They won, I think. I think they won, didn't they?
Yeah, West Ham.
They beat Palace, which is a worry for Palace because I think they're on 0 points.
And they're going to lose players as well. So I don't know where Palace are at right now.
Palace is odd because they've said it looks like they've just bought Nketiah.
Yep.
And we were talking about this yesterday. He's now joining the likes of Mateta and Edouard.
Yeah.
Who are players that can only play central centre forward.
So he's going from backup to backup.
He's going as pretty much the only natural centre forward at a club.
Yeah. And
he couldn't get a game. So I'm going to go to a club where the centre forward's really good.
Yeah.
And he can't play anywhere else, so I can't push him to another position. I have to actually beat him.
All I can think is Mateta's leaving.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've lost the first 2 games, yeah, I guess Mateta could be leaving. I don't know where he'd be going. Maybe it's Arsenal.
Maybe.
But they've lost Elise. If they lose the Teta at Elise, Mark Gahey played last night for Palace in the Carabao Cup, and he's had 4 or 5 bids rejected now by Palace from Newcastle. It looks like he's going to go. Anderson's gone back to Fulham.
Yeah.
I worry for Palace a little bit, and I worry for Eze because, you go from last year where you're in, hardly... Him and Elise and Mateta hardly ever played together because someone was always injured.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they clicked and they
figured it all out really good. There,
Now, one's gone.
Yeah.
Eddie, I think, will do really well because, if you remember, Eddie and Eze, I think, might know each other from Arsenal's academy. But I don't know. It just seems like an odd move for Eddie. He must trust in his ability that he's going to take that. Or he's been told that Mateta is moving on because he will be ahead of Edouard.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ahead of Mateta yet.
No.
Because Mateta's really good.
Quality.
I worry for Palace. I have no clue why we were talking about Palace.
There was a reason, and I can't remember.
I can't either.
West Ham City.
Why are we talking about Palace?
There was a reason.
There was a reason.
There was. You're right.
They lost to West Ham.
Yes.
Okay.
It does make sense.
It all makes sense, guys. Sterling to Crystal Palace, that'd actually be a very smart move.
That is very smart.
Because Eze, Sterling, and Eddie or Mateta actually sounds like a decent...
That sounds great.
Yeah. But we're talking about West Ham Super 11.
I think when we do these predictions, I try so hard to put out the positive thoughts of City losing just because we need them to
So you've gone West Ham.
I'm going to go draw.
Okay.
Because I've gone a lot of away wins and I don't want to do another one.
I'm going to go City because I'm going to do the opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to just hope that if I do that, it's going to be wrong.
One of us is right.
West Ham, I say this, it's going to be a difficult game for City.
Yeah.
Away, I know we won 6-0 West Ham last year, but
they've got a strong team.
They've got a Super 11 now. You've got to remember that. So I don't know. I really don't know, but I think it'd be an interesting game. I think all the television games are good because as an Arsenal fan, we're going to watch the midday game.
Yeah.
City, there's consequence for City.
Yeah.
At 5:30, so we'll watch that.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you have the likes of you have Newcastle Spurs, so you'd love to see a Spurs loss, and you got Man United Liverpool, and we kind of need Man United to win that.
It's a good weekend of football
because Man United are a very confusing club.
Yeah.
And it is quite fun to watch them win sometimes because then they all think we're going to win the league, and then the next week they lose to Palace.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun. But the next game is Chelsea v Palace.
Okay.
No.
I think Chelsea are going to follow up from where they left off.
With 9-0.
They're going to just score more goals every game. Yeah, I think Chelsea have got this. Because Palace, like we said, are in a weird spot. They finished season strong last season.
Yeah, I do. I really worry for Palace.
They're losing players. There's stuff happening that I feel like they should have been building from what they had at the end of last season.
Yeah, like they should have kept their players or sold one, like Elise, and then you bring in Sterling.
Yeah. I think they had the potential to look good to other players wanting to come in at that point.
They should buy Nelson off us. That's what they should do.
They should. You're right. That's a good move.
Well, they looked at Kiwior, which is interesting because they're obviously looking to replace Mark Gay.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Chelsea might smash them here.
Yeah.
The next game is Newcastle versus Spurs.
Okay. I think Newcastle. I know it's funny to say that, but I think Newcastle are going to win this.
Okay.
I think Newcastle. They seemed like they weakened from that original format they had when they started strong. I think last season.
Yeah.
Then there was the potential of having to lose some players, and they did lose a couple. But and they started to look weaker. But I think they've got enough quality there that they're going to figure it out. And Spurs, it's hard to know what Spurs are doing. Because sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, they won, was it 4-0 this week?
Yeah, it goes back and forth. But I think Newcastle at home is a Newcastle win all day there.
Yeah, it's on the TV. I think this is around the time they got smashed 6-0 there or something, wasn't it? This kind of like 2 o'clock kind of area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know with Spurs. I think they're a really like neat and tidy team.
Yeah.
They're fun teams, but they also do have a bit of a soft centre. I think they do remind me of Arsenal of years ago. Newcastle are good with Isaac and Gordon. I really think there's something going on, but it's so hard to predict when there's talk of like an Isaac or a Gordon leaving, and that will happen before this game. But I don't know if either of them will. But there's a lot going on. I don't know. I'm going to go draw.
Okay. It's weird to think that a lot of these teams might look quite different by the weekend.
Yeah, a lot's going to start happening. There's going to be a lot of news, so make sure you're following Gunners R Us Pod on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because any kind of breaking news or anything like that will pop up and we can kind of discuss underneath. The next one is Man United Liverpool. This is the Super Sunday.
Yep.
This Man United are the weirdest team in the world. That this is the kind of game they'll win 2-0.
Yeah.
But Liverpool look problematic.
Robotic
they look like
almost.
they're really sucking that ball into their goal. Do you know what? This is so hot. I think that's the hardest one to call. And it seems easy because Man United just lost to Brighton.
Yeah.
And Liverpool haven't conceded yet. But Man United do weird things against the likes of City, Liverpool and Arsenal.
I think on paper, this is a Liverpool win all day. But like you said, Sky Sports have told us numerous times this is the biggest game in the world. So anything can happen. Man United could turn up. It's Old Trafford against a massive rival in Liverpool. I'm going to go draw. I think Man United could force a draw here. Just because of the occasion. I could be well off and it's 5-0 Liverpool, which is what my head's telling me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a bit more of the second part of what you said. I'm gonna go Liverpool. My head. I'm notoriously bad at betting, and I don't mean I've got a problem. I'm not in debt. I'm talking. I put £2 on.
Yeah.
But I look at that and I go, man, I'm actually going to upset them. And then they lose 5-0 and I go, what was I seeing before that game? And so
It's the hope that will get you.
whatever naturally tells me to go, like everything's going, oh, Man United will win that.
Yeah.
So I've gone against it because that's usually what happens.
I'm going to be honest, I might put a little cheeky bet on Man United there, bet responsibly.
Yeah, same. Yeah, you're right. But that is your predictions for the week.
Yay.
I think it's actually a good game week. It's upsetting as well because we all know that is the last football we get for 2 weeks. Because there's another international break. Yeah, and I think there's another one in like 3-4 weeks.
Stop it.
I don't know where this wasn't a thing when I was young, I swear. In the last like 5-6 years, I feel like this has become like we know that we get 3 weeks of Premier League and then it goes away.
We have to wait so long.
The only benefit is if you're an NFL fan, the NFL is back.
Ooh.
The international break. And I'm going to see Matt Rife.
Well,
So on a Saturday, I can watch Matt Rife and not worry about missing football.
You got it covered.
Then the Sunday, I'm going to watch NFL.
Yeah.
And then before that's kind of digested, I'll go, oh, football's back.
Do you know what's good about it going away, though? It always comes back.
It does always come back, unless the Super League comes in, then we're all doomed. Guys, hopefully we'll do a live on whenever that Champions League draw is. I should have looked this up during it, but I haven't. So ideally, I'll do the Champions League draw live. And then you can kind of get on that. Again, like I said, 2 videos a day on Gunners R Us. We need to record a couple now because there's a lot of stuff happening, like Eddie Moreno, Nunez, banter. I don't know what's going on there. But either way, that was our predictions. That was our podcast. Listen to us, Gunners R Us podcast, Spotify and iTunes. Please give it a download. We've got over like 70 episodes now. Download all of them today.
Do it.
It costs you nothing, but it makes us feel good about ourselves. So,
and if you need to, because I have somewhat retired the outros I was doing last season, because we're trying to be a bit more inclusive to all of football teams now, I would say download all the previous episodes, and even if you have to, just listen to the outros, because they're a bit of fun.
Appreciate it. And HK said, we'll do broskies. Appreciate you, HK.
Heck yeah.
So, that has been the podcast. We're going to turn the podcast on. I'm going to carry on the live for a minute while I do some editing. Whew.
Wow.
I will sleep. We have slept, but I feel very tired. I feel very hungry. And we may have 2 more podcasts to record today. So go listen to the Peppercorn Boys on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, on YouTube, and go listen to the Simon Miller Pro Wrestling Podcast. It's now going to be called the Positive Wrestling Podcast. PWP is us two and Simon Miller. And something's on my head on the live. So we will see you next week on the podcast. But TikTok, hang around for a little bit more.